songs from 72 years ago.
You're happy when you're blue.
Do you remember when this song changed how you saw love? Or when this one played on your family's radio? 72 years ago, the world sounded different. Every radio, every jukebox had the power to turn a gray day into one you'd never forget. Today we're traveling back to that era to rediscover the great songs that shaped lives, hearts, and entire generations. 14. How Much Is That Doggie in the Window by Patti Page.
How much is that doggie in the window?
Close your eyes and think of 1953. It's impossible not to hear Patti Page's sweet voice. That year, she dropped one of the most endearing songs of the time, How Much Is That Doggie in the Window. It wasn't just a chart-topping hit, it became a symbol of the innocence and family warmth of those years. Kids heard their parents humming it while cooking dinner, and in every record shop, the melody played on repeat.
I must take a trip to California.
Here's the thing. Though it might seem light today, back then it was an escape from the still fresh memories of war and a life of austerity. And what's wild is how it became a global sensation. They were listening to it in Mexico, Canada, even Europe, where radios started playing American tunes as part of the modern vibe sweeping in after World War II.
I don't want a bunny or a kitty.
Before we move on, we'd love to get to know you better. Where are you watching from? Drop it in the comments. Let's keep going. 13. Vaya con Dios by Les Paul and Mary Ford.
Vaya con Dios, my darling.
The duo Les Paul and Mary Ford were a perfect example of how music could blend technical skill with intimacy. Their song Vaya con Dios became an anthem of farewell, nostalgia, and hope, striking a chord with those living through the deep changes of those years. Les Paul, known for his electric guitar innovations, and Mary Ford, with her warm, enveloping voice, created a perfect balance that hit listeners right in the heart.
Vaya con Dios, my love.
Back then, saying goodbye to someone you loved could mean long absences. There were no texts, TV was still new, and international calls were pricey and tough. This song felt like a friend, making the wait a little easier. Fun fact, the song's popularity made the Spanish phrase Vaya con Dios a common greeting, a gesture of respect and affection that went beyond music and became part of everyday life. Give us a like if you've ever dedicated a song to someone. Oh My Papa, Oh Mine Papa by Eddie Fisher.
Oh my papa, to me.
If there's one song that captures the emotion of that era, it's Oh My Papa. Eddie Fisher, with his passionate delivery, turned this sentimental melody into a cultural phenomenon. You'll love this tidbit if you're a fan. It's actually an adaptation of the German original Oh Mein Papa, a story of a beloved man remembered with warmth and respect.
To me he was so good.
In those years, society was rebuilding, and sentimental songs were like an invisible thread connecting generations. That simple message hit deep. Every note was a caress to memory, a reminder that music could hold emotions words alone couldn't express. The song stayed at the top of the charts for months, boosting Eddie Fisher to become one of the decade's most beloved singers. His music offered companionship and comfort, something few can forget. 11. Swedish Rhapsody, Midsummer Vigil by Percy Faith. Now we come to an instrumental gem that, though wordless, spoke straight to the heart. Swedish Rhapsody, Midsummer Vigil by Percy Faith, pure magic turned into music. The orchestra transported listeners to idyllic landscapes, summer nights where anything seemed possible, even in a world still scarred by recent war. Instrumental music back then had a special power. It wasn't common. It didn't need lyrics to stir deep emotions. The perfectly tuned instruments were enough to spark memories and let feelings flow freely. What's fascinating is how this melody crossed borders. While it was a hit in the US, Europe and Latin America embraced it too. It became a symbol of elegance and artistic sensitivity, cementing Percy Faith as one of the era's most influential orchestra leaders. Rags to Riches by Tony Bennett.
I know I'd go from rags to riches.
In 1953, Tony Bennett released Rags to Riches, telling a story that spoke directly to the dreams of many. It was about starting with nothing and rising to everything, a narrative that hit hard in countries still recovering from World War II.
So open your arms and you'll open.
Every note from Bennett was packed with optimism, a drive to overcome that people listened to closely in their homes. The song became an instant classic, not just for its melody, but for the emotion Bennett poured into every line. A detail few remember, Rags to Riches held the #1 spot for weeks, proving Bennett was one of the decade's most influential singers. It also had an unexpected effect. Kids across the country started mimicking his style, humming on the streets and sparking little concerts in neighborhood homes. 9. P.S. I Love You by the Hilltoppers. Close your eyes and go back to 1953. It's easy to picture teens writing love letters or anxiously waiting for a reply. P.S. I Love You by the Hilltoppers captured that youthful spirit perfectly.
Right to the grounds just as soon as...
The Hilltoppers delivered a simple but deeply emotional ballad that played on radios, jukeboxes, and home record players. The group's clear, harmonious voices carried a pure, almost innocent feeling, the kind we all remember from our first crushes. What's cool is that while its main audience was young, it also won over parents and grandparents, who felt transported back to their own youth. The melody brought back memories of letters and secret meetings, shared across generations with their kids. A touching fact, P.S. I Love You was played at countless graduations and school dances, marking a key moment in thousands of young lives. Even today, hearing it brings back the thrill of those first loves and how music could capture a feeling so simple yet so deep. What's your favorite song from the 50s? Drop it in the comments so we can all check it out. 8. Half a Photograph by Starr. Just when we thought nothing could surprise us, 1953 gave us Half a Photograph, a melancholic pop jazz tune about absences and memories you can't let go. It was an instant hit on the charts, and Starr's voice echoed in homes where nostalgia and lost love mingled with daily life. Every line of Half a Photograph conjured images of past moments, a walk in the park, a goodbye at the train station, the feeling that someone special left an indelible mark. It was a song that invited you to close your eyes and let memories flow, taking you to a simpler time full of intense emotions. Starr captured a universal feeling. Even when something's lost, the memory and emotion of what was lived remain. 7. April in Portugal by Les Baxter. Instrumental music had a special magic back then, and April in Portugal by Les Baxter proved it. In 1953, this melody whisked listeners away to far-off places and dreamy moments. Baxter's effect was almost cinematic. Catching the song on the radio felt like an invitation to travel without leaving home, to imagine other worlds and experiences. Even if you'd never been to Portugal in April, the melody made it feel like home. Soon the song crossed borders and became a global hit, proving a melody could unite cultures and generations without a single word. It was yet another example of emotion born purely from sound and performance. 6. Young at Heart by Frank Sinatra.
If you're young at heart.
The years had passed, and Frank Sinatra was no longer the young crooner who charmed everyone in the 40s, but he still had plenty to say. He proved his talent was as strong as ever with Young at Heart.
You can go to extremes with impossible schemes.
The song became an anthem for anyone who felt age didn't define dreams or feelings. In 1953, Sinatra had seen career highs and lows, and this track was his declaration of vitality and joy. Every time it played on the radio, it was like Sinatra reminding us that youth isn't about age, but how we live, love, and dream, a message we still hold on to today.
If you are among the very young at heart.
The power of this song is what lets us look back on that time with warmth. A simple melody, a relatable voice, and a sincere emotion that crosses decades and reaches listeners unchanged. 5. Pretend by Nat King Cole.
Happy when you're blue.
The radio was the heart of homes in that distant 50s decade, and when it played Pretend by Nat King Cole, with his smooth, elegant voice, it felt like a family hug.
Whenever you pretend.
Pretend wasn't just a melody, it was an escape from everyday struggles. Adults listened after a long workday, sitting in their armchairs, kids playing nearby, as the radio filled the home with a mix of melancholy and tenderness. That's what this song was, part of the family. Though simple, it carried a sophistication rare for the era's hits. Cole made every word float with grace, every pause brim with emotion. Pretend helped cement Nat King Cole's career as an international artist. Its popularity spread to Latin America and Europe, where his refined, elegant style became a benchmark for musical taste. 4. You by the Ames Brothers. When it comes to 1953's vocal hits, You by the Ames Brothers holds a special place. This song hit #1 and stayed there for weeks, capturing the romantic, optimistic spirit of the time.
I could be so true.
The group's clear, enveloping harmony made listeners feel swept into a simple, pure love story. In living rooms, families played it over and over, humming along and smiling as they recalled their own youthful romances. Here's something you might not know. The Ames Brothers were actual brothers, giving them a unique energy no other group could match. They forged a style that bridged traditional vocal pop and the sounds that would later give rise to rock. Every performance of You was a little gem of precision and feeling. 3. Don't Let the Stars Get in Your Eyes by Perry Como. This one's a classic for slow romantic dances, sung by Perry Como at his most lovesick. Don't Let the Stars Get in Your Eyes created an experience that brought millions together. It spread widely across the US and hit big in Latin America too, where it was warmly embraced.
many nights.
Too many nights.
Too many.
Its lyrics connected with all of us, speaking of hope, nurturing shared dreams, and the delicacy of feelings. The song inspired couples to write letters and poems, making emotions easier to express through music. With his simple, approachable style, Perry Como became an ally of tenderness. A singer who understood music could be a hug amid the daily grind. The song made waves in film and TV of the era, featured in productions aiming for a romantic, hopeful vibe. 2. Ruby by Les Baxter. This Les Baxter melody was, above all, a song that painted pictures. Born as a movie theme, Ruby could transport listeners to a cinematic world of drama, mystery, and beauty. In 1953, those hearing it on the radio could close their eyes and feel like they were inside the story the music told. The effect was instant. Every chord stirred emotions. Every crescendo invited you to imagine movie scenes with lights, shadows, and characters coming to life in your mind. Baxter, a master of orchestral arrangement, made the music itself tell a story, no words needed. Every time it played, it was like a little journey, a shared experience across generations. Over time, Baxter established himself as one of the era's most versatile composers, crafting pieces that moved listeners in both cinematic and everyday settings. 1. Secret Love by Doris Day.
I had a secret love.
We close on a high note with a song that won the Oscar for Best Original Song in the movie Calamity Jane, and when you hear it, you'll understand why. Performed by Doris Day, Secret Love offered a blend of strength and tenderness rare in songs of the time.
So I told a friendly star.
Doris sang of hidden love, feelings kept in the heart that still shone through the music. For young folks like us, the lyrics mirrored our own emotions, a reminder of passions we once had to keep quiet. A little-known fact: the success of Secret Love helped launch Doris Day's film career, making her a symbol of elegance and sensitivity. Even today, every note of this song can stir memories, taking listeners back to a time when love, though secret, was as intense as it was eternal. And that's the end of our journey. We'll leave you with a link to another video with a list of classic songs if you want to keep reliving the nostalgia of those at times. Catch you next time.